Hello everyone, how are you? Let's talk about Pepsi, which presented its earnings report on October 8th and came with a pleasant surprise for the market. A slight surprise. Right. The market here was expecting earnings per share of $2.29 and reported earnings per share of $2.31. Basically, when we pull here is the company's financial part adjusted to billions. We have revenue that grew compared to the previous quarter with an increase of 23.3% compared to the previous quarter and a slight decline compared to the previous year. With that, there was a year-over-year growth, a decrease of 0.6% that it came down from the growth that the company was experiencing until the previous quarter. We also have the profit section here, basically showing an increase 13 billion compared to 12.6 billion in the last quarter and 12.8 billion a year ago. We also have the earnings per share at $2.13 compared to $2.23 in the last quarter and $2.24 a year ago. Basically, its earnings per share had a decline. There was a depreciation. And EBITDA was 4.9 compared to 4.9 in the previous quarter, remaining stable with a slight upward movement. In other words, when we look at these earnings reports, we see that the company has remained stable. There hasn't been anything very significant, and it has maintained a healthy status. A slight decrease in year-over-year growth, but when we look at revenue and when we look at EBITDA, we have here a slight pause. Just like it was in the last quarter, it's a company that, when we look at the dividends, is paying 3.16%, okay? At this moment, maintaining a payment of $1.35 in dividends. Cool. So it's a company that has brought in its profits. The big question is that when we talk about trends and when we talk about stock appreciation, we have not seen this appreciation happen since January 2022. And what do we have here, folks? We have him literally working, her working in this sideways channel. It even briefly reached $195, but soon after it returned and is trading between 160 as being relatively cheap since February 2022 and the 176 as being relatively expensive since January 2022. So we are looking at a completely sideways Pepsi. If you are thinking about investing in Pepsi at this moment, know that the likelihood of you being here for a few months, working within this sideways movement without seeing your money appreciate is significant, which is why we have our trend studies to make it easier for you. We have many stocks trending upward in the United States. The big question is that with Pepsi, we saw an earnings report that was okay, nothing surprising, but the market has not been interested in Pepsi since December 2021, as it has been trading in this sideways pattern. With that, we classify it as a company without a defined trend. A completely sideways company. Okay.